Hey everybody, welcome back to Casting Lots Board Gaming. Today we're taking a look at Earth. It is a tableau builder by Inside Up Games. I picked this one up, I think I've had it close to a year and a half. And it was, I think it's somewhere around 40 something, 45 or so on Amazon. It was on sale when I got it. I think it was 30, 32 or something like that. So it was a pretty good sale. And I picked it up because I really, honestly, I thought the box art is what sold me on this game. It's just really cool looking. It's a really good box art there. But I love nature stuff and things like that. So I thought it looked pretty neat. It is a tableau builder, so you will be building a tableau of various plants and shrubs and trees and mushrooms and all different kinds of things. You'll be building a 4x4 tableau in front of your play area, and basically the game ends when a player completes that 4x4 tableau. So there are various components, but not a whole lot of stuff. So you have your sprouts, and then this is the growth, and then these are the tops for your growth whenever you complete your growth on a card. So to begin, we'll go over quality. So quality is, I'd say, medium high. It's nothing that stands out as extraordinary, but it looks like it'll last a while. The player boards are pretty good, thick, a cardboard material. And the cards, a lot of the, these cards here are double-sided, but there's a lot of cards. And I'll show you here. I've got one stack laid out, but you have all these here are all the different, these are pretty good. These are like 100 card stacks here. So there's, 300 and something cards of the, and these are all your different plants and trees and shrubs and all these different things. So you'll have all these. This is the giant club cactus, the ram's head mushroom, black raspberries, Japanese stewardia. So it's got all these different plants. And what I think is really cool, I don't know if you can see here. So it gives you the name of the plant, and then down here it has an effect that once you get it in your tableau, you'll be able to use that effect. And then on the bottom it gives you actual little tidbits of information about the actual plant. So there is if you're playing with a younger kid or somebody deaf or anyone interested in plants and animals and things like that, you'll have all kinds of neat little tidbits of information there. So when you first start, I guess I'm kind of getting out of order. Quality, medium, high. It seems like it'll hold up for a while. Complexity, I'm going to call it medium. Now let me get into what I was saying. So when you first start, you will basically choose an island, and there's, whatever this 15 or so island cards. They're all double-sided. So when you choose one, and basically what this will do is give you your starting, down here it'll tell you your starting hand of cards, and then how many you have to compost from your hand, and then it'll give you your starting soil. So your soil is these little tokens right here, and these are basically going to allow you to plant the different plants and trees and shrubs and things in your tableau. So some of them are a little more powerful. Some of them will give you a bunch of cards from the beginning, but they don't give you a whole lot of good stuff. And then some of them are the opposite. They'll not give you very many cards, but they will give you lots of cool bonuses or a cool effect. Like this one is the watering cost, or plants that are water-based cost 1 less soil, but not less than 0. And it's really hard to see on here. It's a little bitty number, but it gives you the odds of completing certain challenges. So there's going to be certain things that you can play that'll tell you, like, if you get 4 tree plants around this, you get a bonus score or something like that. So there's all these little things you can look forward to. So you would choose an island, and an island type, and that would go on your player card here on your island area. And then you move on to the climate, and there are all these, and they're double-sided. So normally I just do if I'm playing with other people, I'll just do pick 2 randomly, and then you choose one of the 4. So each one is double-sided. So you choose a climate. They have tropical rainforest, subpolar oceanic, hot summer, continental, humid subtropical. Yeah, that's kind of like Southeast Texas this time of the year. Tundra, hemiboreal, marine west coast, all these different ones, and they're double-sided. And when you choose a climate that you like, and the first time you play this, you're not going to know what's going on. But you pick it up pretty quick. You choose a climate, you put your climate on your board over here, and then you move on. And then the next one that you do, and these are all at the beginning of the game, and these are optional. This is the ecosystem. So this is going to give you basically there's a lot of these, and they're all double-sided. So this is going to give you, these are optional, but the ecosystem cards, they'll go on your board. And Tongass National Forest, Twin Islands, Tasmanian Temperate Rainforest, all these different things. And these are going to give you basically conditions that you can meet. This is the points. Depending on the total number of, I think that's mushrooms in your tableau, 0, 4, 8, 13, 23, 28, or 30. So I'm trying to figure out what that would actually mean. Oh, each one, if you have one mushroom, you get 0, 2, you get 4, 3, you get 8, 4, you get 13. So that's actually a really good one there and give you some extra bonus points at the end. And the other side is Everglades. It'll be 4 points per mushroom in one continuous line through diagonally adjacent cards. So there's some, tic-tac-toe looking stuff involved with these with some of these things. It's really neat. And honestly, I haven't played with the ecosystems too much because I'm trying to keep it simple. I've played, a handful of times. But if you want to, you can choose the ecosystem and it will go on your ecosystem area. And then the next part is the actual animals, and the animals are kind of a secondary to this. So the animals are going to give you basically what I just showed you in the ecosystems. The animals are going to kind of do the same thing. They're going to give you, like this one, if you have 4 plus flora each with 6 points, you'll be able to complete this. And then on the board here, if this is one of your animals that you have out, the first person to get that 4 plus flora each with the 6 plus points, you get to put one of your little, each player has a different colored little leaf token, and they'll be able to put it there, and that represents them getting that first. So that's 15 extra points at the end of the game. The second player will get 11 and 8 and 6 and so on down to 5. So that gives you an incentive to kind of shoot for things pretty quick. And you're going to have 4 of these out when you're playing. You'll have 4, and these are all double-sided. It looks like there's about 20 something of these. So, but there's some really cool art on here, like the Sri Lankan leopard. This one is 7 plus cards with an odd point value. 0 counts as even. So if you have some different cards with an odd point value, see this point value is 1. So this one would get you 1 more toward that. So you get your 4 animals that you choose, and they go out on your board there. It does have a solo mode, and if you can see here, I have it set up for the solo mode, which the bot, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 bot cards, and it's basically going toward these different actions that you can take on your board. And so you'll shuffle these up, and then the bot will flip one, and that's what they'll be doing on their turn. So this one's going to be grow. And depending on how that goes, they will do certain things. This is for the sprouts that you can gain, or the bot can gain. This is for their point totals, and then these are the growth. So basically how that would work is the growth goes on here like so. And then whenever it's maxed out, you put a little top on it. So it's kind of cool, and it gives you a good visual. And this happens in the multiplayer one as well. And then these are various things here that the bot will keep up with, compost and discards and things like that. So it's just a little board. Honestly, when I play solo, I really prefer just high score stuff because it's less fiddly. So normally I don't actually play with this. I'll just go through and see what kind of a score I can get. Either that, or I don't really keep track of every single growth that the bot has. I'll just use one, and I'll just move it along the board. So if he gets 5 growth, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll put it there just to keep track instead of actually putting out 50 growth or 50 sprouts on this board. So it does say 1 to 5 players, so you can play 5 players. I've never played with more than 2, honestly, but you can play with 5 players. This is really cool to introduce to people because it's not super complex. There is some stuff going on where you're looking for these patterns or trying to get, like this one is 4 events in your event stack. So there's various, things you can look for with the conditions, and it's kind of a race to get to those things. And then on the board here, it also has 2 more spots for your ecosystems where you can have a maximum of 3 total So the one on your player board, and then 2 more ecosystems here. And these are just points, like I said, little conditions that you can meet to get bonus points. So it's all about collecting the points. But I have a lot of fun putting the various tableaus together with trying, like, say you have a hand of these here. So you have these are the events. This is a comet, and it'll cause you to lose 3 sprouts, lose 3 growth, but you gain 4 soil, and you get to draw, I think it's draw 3 cards. Yeah, so you'll draw 3 cards. So these, when you play them, they'll go to your event stack on your player board, and then at the end of the game, this one's actually worth -3. So some of them are worth 0, so they're not going to take away from your points at the end, but a lot of the events will do really good things, but they will have you lose various numbers of points at the end of the game. So it's kind of a trade-off. If you want to use it to get that extra soil and to get 3 cards, that's great, but just understand that you're going to lose that 3 points at the end. So as you play, your tableau will start looking, you can put them, if I remember right, you can put them in any order, any way you want to put them, as long as, it's 4 by 4, so you want to kind of bring a little, have a little area so you can get enough cards to make a 4 by 4 grid. And then as they play out, there's different types on these. This one's considered like I think it's a shrub, or I don't remember what it's called. No, this one's the shrub. The little bush icon here, the spider tresses, and then this is the beefsteak fungus. This is ginger. This is a tree. This one's English walnut. Jojoba, that's a bush. So all these different things will be, you'll pay the cost right here in the top, which is the soil cost. So you have to have that amount of soil in your possession, and then you can plant these things. And there are this one right here is a terrain card. So you see all the plants are green. Your terrain card will basically give you either a one-time bonus. So this one's going to be a one-time bonus of drawing 5 cards, which is a good bonus. But it will take up a spot in your tableau. I'm trying to find another one here. So this is taiga. So the taiga is going to give you 2 bonus points per frost environment in any one player's area, including volcanoes and whatever temperature, some temperature thing. I don't know. There's a lot of different icons, so just be aware of that when you start playing, but you'll pick it up pretty quick. And then on the top of the card here, it shows the type that this is. So this one's water. I think it's rocky terrain, and then cold climate. So this will show the types. So some of them are just 1. So this one's just the 1 type, and some of them are multiple types. So complexity, like I said, you pick that up pretty quick. I know when I play with somebody who's never played this before, the first thing they look at is they look at all this stuff all over the place, and they think, oh, wow, this is super complicated. But it's really not very complicated. And I really like the fact that on your turn, so they give you this cool player marker. So on your turn, you'll place your whatever this is, the action icon. You'll place it on whatever action you're going to do out of the 4. And wherever you place it, so on the other, I'm going to move this stuff out of the way so I can show you. So if you place it here, which is the plant action, you will do the top action, which is plant 2 cards from your hand as long as you have the soil cost, and then you draw 4 and keep 1 card. But the other players will they can plant 1 if they choose to, and they can draw 1 card. So it's not just everyone sitting around twiddling their thumbs waiting on you to get done with your turn. There's actually, some interaction going on depending on what people are choosing. So I know there has been various times when I've been playing where I need to do something, and I'm thinking about maybe doing that on my turn, and then the player that I'm playing against picks something that I'm able to use. So I go, okay, great. I was trying to plant a card here, plant a plant in my tableau, and because of this, I was able to use that. And you can also do that in the reverse. If you see that the player has 1 spot left, you don't want to plant, because then, hey, they're going to be able to plant, and then they're going to get the bonus for completing their grid, and then the game's going to be over. So you might not want to do that in that situation. So you do have to pay attention to what's going on the other players' tableaus. Let's see. We'll move to replayability. Replayability is high because there's a lot of stuff. You saw all these cards. These are all different events and terrains and all these different plants and things like that you can plant. So there's a lot of stuff. A lot of replayability, and you just shuffle those up, and normally I'll just grab a single stack when we play and put it out and use that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. replayability wise, and you're always going to be getting different animals. You're always going to be getting, where you can choose different islands, different climates, different ecosystem cards, all these different things. So it's going to be different every time you play. So there's a lot of replayability, and you're going to want to replay it. You might play once and lose horribly because you said, oh man, I went for a certain strategy and it just didn't work out. So I'm going to try something different next time. It makes you want to play again. Rating is absolutely anybody can play this. There is nothing to worry about in anything. So rating is everyone. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because it's for everybody. The score, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I know I've been giving a lot of things those types of scores, and the reason being is because I don't go out and just buy every board game known to man and then review. So I'm not going to have reviews of things that are going to be like, this is terrible, it's a 2 out of 10, because I don't want to own it if it's that bad. So the reviews that you've seen so far and the reviews that you see here are typically you're going to find somewhere between the 7 to 9.5 range. I don't like giving 10s, but you're going to find a 7 to 9.5 range. I just realized I got a card stuck underneath my table. Oh, look at that. An ecosystem card. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of that range of reviews because of the fact that I do a lot of research. I'm not just going to buy, this is not my job. It's just a hobby. So I'm not going to go buy things that are terrible just so I can give them a bad review. That's not the way I'm going to do things. So anyways, this is Earth, a score of 8 out of 10. Definitely give it a try. I think it's worth the price point at $40-something on Amazon. But if you do find it on sale, it's definitely worth picking up, especially if you have any kind of interest in nature, because the whole thing is nature. There's animals to look at. There's all these cool plants and things, and like I said, you learn. Like this one here, the giant club cactus. It says a tree-like branching cactus that produces small fruits and blooms at night. So you've got this cool picture of that actual plant, and then it gives you the little tidbit of information at the bottom. Oh yeah, and I was going to bring this up. So I guess back to complexity when I was talking about that. So the sprouts, when you get a sprout, there's little spots on the card, so your sprout you can have 3 sprouts on this card. And then the growth on this will show the maximum growth here, and if you max it out, it's going to give you this many points at the end. So if you max this out with 5 growth, which you'll have it like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll put, because it's a cactus, I'll put a green one on top. So you got your maxed out growth right here, and then you can have a maximum of 3 sprouts. So this would be fully expanded. But it's neat to see. It's got a little visual there. It's neat to see this. But it is a good game. I enjoy it. I play it occasionally. I play it solo, and it's fun solo. But it's more fun with more people than if you got a lot of people that like nature. So anyway, this is Earth, 8 out of 10, and we will see you next time. Hopefully I won't take as long on the next video. I have been working a lot in the shop, and I haven't had time. I've been so tired with summer starting. The shop's picking up, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to do videos. When I do have time, I'm trying to rest to get back to work the next day. So bear with me, and as always, like and subscribe. And if you want, leave a comment. Let me know how you like the videos or whatever. So, and if you pick it up, let me know. If you buy any of these games that I've done a review on, shoot me a comment on them or something, or whatever, and let me know what you think. So we will see you next time. God bless. This is Casting Lots Board Gaming.